Hey everybody, this is Lox with Myoelectric, and today I'm here to talk about the much anticipated Titanfall, which I believe is due to release in March of 2014, so I guess a few months out, half a year, whatever it is now. I was actually recently became aware of the game. It's kind of funny, I do game videos and that sort of thing, but I don't actually stay up on E3 conferences or whatever, so I actually heard about Titanfall through word of mouth. A guy at work was stopping by. We were kind of talking about Battlefield, and he brings up Titanfall. I was like, yeah, I think I've seen some advertisements. I got Game Informer or something at one point. I remember seeing it. And, Respawn Entertainment is who it's being developed by, so that got brought up into conversation. I am aware of them. Those are the previous developers. A lot of the Mass Exodus crew from Infinity Ward has gone to create Respawn Entertainment. So I checked out Titanfall. It looks really cool. Immediately when I start checking out some gameplays, I'm thinking of Quake Arena, which I think is just kind of a staple in FPS. The characteristics that I love about Quake, fast twitch gameplay, and I really felt like that style of game developed a set of gamers that were like truly talented at playing games. I think some of the best professional gamers were probably coming from that era, and that was such a great game engine. So seeing Titanfall kind of take some characteristics from that, you see like this rocket jump thing, that's really cool. So I start getting really excited for the game, so I start looking more into it. I start talking with Amanda about it, and I'm like, hey, have you checked this out? So we watched some player videos, and originally I'm actually getting pretty excited for the game. And especially, I know I'm kind of bouncing all over the place here, but I guess that's just how I roll. But Battlefield, its net performance is just terrible right now. Now, Modern Warfare 1, Call of Duty 4, and a lot of, Quake 3 engine-based stuff had just absolutely exceptional netcode. It was kind of based from Quake 3, so they were inheriting that. And so I'm thinking, wow, Titanfall might be great to play just because it'll be a relief from this terrible netcode that we're getting from Battlefield 4. And I'm like, well, that's going to bring up the conversation about dedicated servers immediately. Well, Battlefield 4 has dedicated servers, but obviously that's not helping their netcode right now. But still, I really get edgy thinking about dedicated servers because Infinity Ward really associated themselves in a bad way with not using dedicated servers. So I'm sitting here thinking, well, what's their take on it now with this Respawn Entertainment? So I start doing a little bit of research, and then I start having a whole lot of recollection of why I really despised what Infinity Ward evolved into, what their direction in gaming was. And let me just stop there and direct you to this website where I found most of the information that changed my perspective on how excited I'm feeling for Titanfall. Titanfall looks great. There are some key points that I want to bring out. If you go to the site, the very first thing that you'll see that Respawn starts talking about, I guess specifically Jon Shiring. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but anyway, it looks like he's in charge of what is the cloud development that they're working on, which I guess I'm a little bit confused on. If you go through and read here, basically what's going on is that they're using dedicated servers, but this is just basically a clone setup of what we've seen from Call of Duty Black Ops. They're dedicated servers, but they're kind of basically putting a server farm that's owned by a third party, or maybe in the case of Activision, they actually own those servers. I'm not particularly sure about that. But in this instance, Respawn's Titanfall servers will be owned by Microsoft. So if you're a PC gamer, you're going to be running in the same farm as Xbox servers, and I would assume PlayStation servers. And they say that these are geographically going to be spread out all over the map because they're using Microsoft's cloud technology for this. So in the case of Black Ops, I did a video really early on talking about dedicated servers, and I had done some trace routing to actually trace geographically where those servers were at, and I found that pretty much all I could find in the United States was in New Jersey. I think like a year after I did that video, a couple other people came out like it was breaking news that they had discovered, I guess, similar findings. Well, here I'm hoping that Microsoft is actually going to have servers that are readily available. But You know, the cloud technology is basically where everything's heading. So I don't necessarily have any argument with that, but they seem to, I think, kind of give the false illusion that this is going to, like, really, this is brand new technology, that everything's just going to be working amazingly. And I would say, if you're talking to console players, then this is true. I think that this is a step in the right direction. It's a good step for console gamers because it is better than player-hosted servers. For PC gamers, this isn't necessarily good because it seems like you're creating a dependence on these servers that will be controlled by Microsoft or Respawn. So let's say that Titanfall 2 comes out, and you're still you hate Titanfall 2. You much prefer sticking with the original Titanfall. Well, what happens to those servers? Do you think that Respawn Entertainment is just going to pay? Do you think that Microsoft is just going to pay for these servers for 20 years of the life of the game? You know, I played Return to Castle Wolfenstein for like nearly 10 years, and you know, I can't imagine that, you know, Respawn Entertainment is going to want that. They want you buying the next game and the next game. I mean, that's kind of what Call of Duty became all about. It was a yearly thing. They were ready to push their next product. And I really think that Respawn Entertainment is trying to get themselves in position to basically, you know, knock out Activision. They're using that same formula, but they're very clever in how they word stuff through here. So they make it sound like they're kind of your chummy buddy and they're doing what's in the best interest of players. But I guarantee you this is a high-level, big league fucking pissing contest without a doubt. Do not be fooled. You need to read between the lines. And there's some key indications in here. So we're just going to go through here and do a read of what Jon has posted here, just kind of from top and bottom, some things that stood out in my mind. This entire section right here, I think you can just largely ignore. You talk about the downsides for running player-hosted servers. Now, I think we're all very familiar with this. Anyone who's run Xbox Live, anyone you know, who's run peer-to-peer, been, you know, dropped from a game, someone gets angry, they unplug their Ethernet cable. That's everything here. Player-hosted servers synonymous with consoles. Well, and, you know, after this he goes into dedicated service. Now let me just touch on something real quick. Call of Duty 4 was a PC game that was ported to the consoles, and it did very well. Modern Warfare 2 was a console game that was ported to the PC. And that's when player-hosted servers started occurring, was in Modern Warfare 2. There was a huge boycott of Modern Warfare 2. I was part of it. You never saw any Modern Warfare 2 videos from me. And that was a really infuriating time. I actually posted a video where it was kind of designed to be an educational kind of thing for the machinima audience, which at that time was largely like, you know, Halo lovers and just a very youthful crowd. I'm trying to think of a way to kind of say that. It's not a total burn, but so I created this very goofy video that was totally smart-ass, that was kind of making a few points, and it took me forever to get it up on Machinima. They would not post it when Modern Warfare 2 was out. You know, you had so many people that were cashing in, so many people who really just grew their YouTube careers off of Modern Warfare 2, just totally fucking leached off it. It would not even touch on how it was just ruining PC gaming. You know, we saw an increase in the cost of games. We saw a loss of dedicated servers. It was just terrible, and I was infuriated by it. And unfortunately, what's happening now is that you're joining me on my bitter reminiscence of that. So Modern Warfare 2 used player-hosted services. This was Infinity Ward had their own proprietary name for it. I can't remember what the hell it was called. But, you know, they were pushing it. Vince Sampella, all of them were pushing it. Everyone, basically, from the mass exodus, including Jon Shiring, whatever the hell his name is here, was pushing player-hosted services. And in the first, what is this, like 1, 2, 3 paragraphs here, he's sitting here telling you why you don't want player-hosted services. Like this is some kind of newfound thing. Well, what you need to understand here, what you need to do is you need to look at this article as a pessimistic son of a bitch like I do. And I think it will do you some good because you actually see the ridiculous mass marketing. And you'll see that he gets his point across because by the end of it, everyone here feels so chummy reading this that, oh, this guy, yeah, I could sit down and drink a beer with him. This guy, it's like, what do you guys think is going on here? You think this is just some guy off the street? You know, games are a multi-million. I mean, this is on par with movies. You know, I mean, surpassing movies at this point. You know, this isn't just a random thing this guy's trying to appeal to you. This guy, like I said before, it's a big league pissing contest, and you guys need to be wary that you're getting good games. That's why I'm as passionate about this as I am. This is why I get so adamant. This is why I get so angry, so get bitter. You know, don't think that I'm an angry guy. It's just that I like good games, and I feel like, you know, Respawn Entertainment, you know, they can make good games. They know how to make good games. There's no doubt about that. And, you know, maybe in the long run, their vision is good, but I feel like, you know, some of the things that they've done have not helped, and I'm weary right now because what they did with Modern Warfare 2 was bad, and it is proven to be bad because look what we got with Call of Duty after Modern Warfare 2 and including Modern Warfare 2. We got, you know, how many years of the same thing? You know, how did that formula work out for us? You know, it was terrible. I mean, I hoped inside that Activision was responsible for what happened with Infinity Ward, the reason they did the things that they did, but I don't know that for a fact. I'm just going to go ahead and end that rant right now. So Jon has pretty much made the conclusion that we did several years ago, that the player experience is so much better under dedicated servers. Well, I guess it's good that we're in unison on that now, but he says that the downside is that it costs a lot of money. This is not true in the traditional sense where you have PC gamers who purchase their own privately run servers and manage them. It costs them nothing. You know, all they're doing is giving you a server version of the game to run. You install it or you rent a server, and that is that. They're saying that it costs a lot of money for them because they are insisting on having their own server hive, and which allows them more control over every aspect. So when they have a sequel, they can cut you off from the first one if they so desire and then make you go to the second one. Or maybe they'll have some fallback. I think that maybe Black Ops 2, if you don't have those dedicated servers in New Jersey, then maybe you'll fall back to peer-to-peer. I don't know how this game's going to work. I don't know if Black Ops really functions in that regard. Anyway, continuing on here. And this is the part that is just very face-palmy for me. A developer like Respawn doesn't have the kind of weight to get a huge price cut from places like Amazon or Rackspace. Okay, I just had to stop right there because, you know, when you go down here a little bit more, you see that they are working in conjunction with Microsoft on the Xbox Live Cloud. So yeah, they don't have the kind of clout, you know, poor little Respawn, you know, otherwise known as Infinity Ward, getting huge promotions on E3 and tons of media exposure, cutting a deal with Microsoft. You know, I guess Microsoft is just a little guy too. They're, you know, in no league with Amazon or Rackspace here. So yeah, they're really creating this kind of David and Goliath, you know, kind of thing right now that they're going up against, you know, Call of Duty. They don't have the manpower. They don't have the money. It's like, you know, you guys aren't grassroots. You're not an indie game developer. Just come off of that shit right now. It sounds ridiculous. As we continue on here, you can see how embedded they are, and it becomes pretty clear that Microsoft is some sort of venture capital investor in Titanfall or, you know, potentially Respawn Entertainment, because this is basically a plug right here. Microsoft has a cloud service called Azure. It's a real thing. Go to their website now. I mean, this is the commercial section here. This isn't Mr. Informative. Something I actually didn't talk on at all, I don't think, was that this game is being developed on the Source engine, which is awesome. I don't know if that means that it will be available on Steam or not. I know that I've already seen it on Origin, but that's a solid engine. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of, at least from a player perspective, when I'm going in and editing binds and CVARs and that sort of thing, I think a lot of those kind of carry over from Quake. So I think it's familiar territory for them. Obviously, there's going to be solid netcode there. I mean, Counter-Strike has been running Source perfectly. And so it seems like that is a good basis for competitive play, but that is going to be dependent on the servers that you're on. And having a complete dependency upon Microsoft, I think, is just not what people want. You know, there's been lawsuits about that. I don't think we want to go there. So privately owned servers will put a smile on my face, get me excited about this game again, and hopefully put those old bitter woes to rest that I have towards Infinity Ward, Vince Zampella, and the whole posse guys over there. They can obviously make great games. You know, I fell in love with Call of Duty 4. There was a lot that I didn't like about it, that I felt like they were getting ready to improve on in Modern Warfare 2, but they just really took the wind out of a lot of PC gamers' sales with the lack of dedicated servers. So I want to be back in their court, but I just this is making it difficult. So let me know you guys' thoughts. Let me know if I'm just being a total dick and you never want to hear another video like this from me ever again. So thanks for listening if you've endured it to this point. And oh, by the way, we do have a Battlefield 4 server up. I told Mike that I'd give a good plug for that. BirdZ and Myoelectric crew will be in that server. I'll put it in the comments here. And oh, and we're going live on Twitch TV now. Data is pretty much handling that side of things. So you'll see a broadcast from his perspective. And yeah, I guess that's about it. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.